Well, good evening, everyone. This is Mike Bass back again with another forecast update for you for this September the 21st, 2023. I'm hoping everybody's had a great Thursday out there so far. Everybody has a great Thursday evening. Hope everybody continues to stay safe and well, and also enjoy the weather because it's the only weather you got. Okay, in today's video, we're going to be talking about your forecast for Friday and Saturday. Also, we're going to take a look at the satellite imagery and some information on potential tropical cyclone 16, which will become tropical storm Ophelia. And also, we're going to be taking a look at the Watches Warning Advisory map for your location across the nation. Also, we're going to take a look at the Storm Prediction Center outlook, overview, and also the storm reports that came in this afternoon. And also, we're going to take a look at the National Hurricane Center tropical weather page at the end of this broadcast. So stick around to the entire video and do not miss a beat of this forecast. So if you have not subscribed to my channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button today, so that way you keep up to date with my forecast. And also like these videos, share these videos, and like I say, consider subscribing one more time, and do not forget to smash that subscribe button for me before you leave this forecast page. Alright, well, let's go ahead and get the show on the road there, folks. And as you can see here, we got quiet conditions over much of Canada, back into the portions of southwestern Canada, that is. Also, we got quiet conditions from Maine all the way down into the portion of Ohio, down into Alabama, Mississippi, and Georgia. Also along the Big Bend area of Florida, Panhandle, Florida as well. Also into northern Mexico, also northwestern Mexico as well. The Gulf of California, also into West Texas, through Colorado, back into California, also into portion of Washington and Oregon State as well. Alright, as you can see here, we got showers extending from up here near Connecticut all the way down into South Carolina. Also, we got showers and storms extending from the Outer Banks, well, really from up here near the Washington, D.C. area all the way down into the Florida Keys, including the Miami, Florida region as well. The red slashed area right here, this is some flash flooding, heavy rain possible. Also some severe weather right along coastal areas there of the Outer Banks of North Carolina. Also, we got more shower and thunderstorms up here in southern Canada, right near the Canadian border from Michigan all the way back into portions of Idaho as well, extending through Wyoming, also into areas of Kansas, Nebraska, also down to Oklahoma, Texas, also in Louisiana, back up to Wisconsin and Minnesota. Also some shower activity over here in portions of Idaho as well, and also a little bit over here along coastal areas of Washington State. Alright, the yellow slashed area up here in portions of South Dakota and northern Kansas, Nebraska, that is, excuse me. Has some severe weather possible. And also we have some flash flooding possible in the red slashed area extending from South Dakota through North Dakota back into Montana, northern Wyoming. And also we have some mixed precipitation over here in portion of Idaho, back in the portion of Wyoming, and also into Utah, and also into northeastern Nevada as well. Alright, that's your forecast there, and that's where the storm Ophelia will be right there, located on Friday. Alright, now let's move on to your Saturday forecast. Alright, as you can see, we got quiet conditions extending from southeast Canada to back through portion of Maine, also in the portion of Michigan, down to portion of western South Carolina, down into northern Florida, through Georgia, all the way through Louisiana, Texas, also northern and central Mexico, also down toward the Gulf of California, also back through California, back into portions of Idaho, also into Washington, Oregon State, also into Utah, and also into Colorado, and also into portion of Wyoming as well. Alright, we got some showers, some mixed precipitation up here in Washington State, more showers down here in Oregon and northern California. Also, we got showers up here in Montana with some mixed precipitation there as well, and also in the portions of Wyoming also as well. Alright, we got some shower and thunderstorm activity from portions of Montana all the way over to Minnesota. Also some shower activity in southern Canada along the Great Lakes region. Alright, these showers and storms extending from the Dakotas all the way down into Texas, West Texas a little bit along the Gulf Coast states, from southeast Texas back over to southern Louisiana, a little bit down here in central and southern Florida around the Florida Keys, and also over here in the Carolinas from Charleston all the way up towards the Washington, D.C. vicinity. More showers all the way up into Maine as well. Flash flooding, heavy rain possible up here in portions of Pennsylvania, Connecticut, all the way down in northeastern North Carolina. where Tropical Storm Ophelia will be making a track through eastern North Carolina. Also, the yellow slashed area over here in portions of Missouri. Minnesota, excuse me, South Dakota, all the way down into Oklahoma. Some severe weather possible. Red slashed area from Oklahoma all the way back into the Dakotas, portion of Minnesota. Some flash flood and heavy rain possible. Also, we got some mixed precipitation over a portion of Wyoming, Montana, and Washington State on your Saturday. Alright, now we're going to move on to the satellite imagery of what is looking to become Ophelia. It's still the center of circulation is about right here. Still, most of the activity is on the north and northeastern side of the system. A little bit of activity moving across South Florida, also back around. It's trying to get its act together. So a lot of this moisture will continue to push on off to the north. Alright, now let's see if we can get some information on this storm here. We're going to try to take a look at the forecast cone from the National Hurricane Center on post-tropical, potential. Alright, here's the forecast track for the National Hurricane Center. Alright, you can see here, the 5 p.m. That's where the center of rotation of the storm remains a post-tropical cyclone. Bends back to the west just a little bit, right in just northeast of, kind of goes in just a little bit northeast of Wilmington, North Carolina. Also, here is the Outer Banks part. It moves inland just a little bit. I think Raleigh, Durham, somewhere about right here. You're on the edge of that cone. That cone has shifted a little bit further back to the west, I noticed. Just as what I was talking about in earlier videos this afternoon. I said I would not be surprised to see that shift maybe back to the west just a little bit. And currently that is what the National Hurricane Center sees. And I would not be surprised to see it bend a little bit further back to the west once again. So, but anyway, if you're tracking this system at home, it's located near latitude. Maximum sustained winds are near 35 miles an hour with higher gusts, moving us to the north to 8 miles per hour. It is classified as tropical depression with winds of less than 39 miles per hour. And it should be tropical depression up here around the New Jersey area coming up by Monday afternoon around 2 p.m. Alright, now we're going to move on to the National Hurricane, with the hurricane model. Alright, as you can see here, here's the current position. Like I said earlier this afternoon, they had the cone, they had most of the track going straight up like this. It bent back to the west. You can see the models had shifted a little bit back to the west. I think it depends on this high pressure system setting up a portion of the northeast United States. If it continues to set where it's at, it's going to shift this thing a little bit further back to the west. So I would not be surprised to see it move a little bit over here about where this purple line is. Maybe the center of the storm may go, and then eventually up in here. It may stall out a little bit until that high pressure ridge, and then eventually it's going to move on out to the east coast. Alright, so just want to give you a heads up, and I would not be surprised to see this thing maybe intensify into maybe a brief category 1 hurricane, maybe with 75 miles per hour winds. Alright, now let's take a look at the intensity guidance. Alright, you can see here we've got 30 knot winds equal to 35 miles per hour. All of them taken to a tropical storm. There's one model do take it up to a category 1 hurricane briefly, but most of them keep it to a weak tropical storm. Like I said, I would not be surprised because, like I said, that Gulf Stream waters are right there about where the center of that storm, and that system could intensify just a little bit, and it could become a category 1. I would not rule it out. Right now I'm going to the tropical storm, but I would not rule it out. Later on, before it makes landfall, it could possibly become a strong category tropical storm, full-blown tropical storm, and maybe a low-end grade hurricane. I'm surprised to see, but You know, but right now everybody going with a tropical storm. But I would not be surprised it could intensify a little bit into a hurricane. So just want to give you that information. And currently, I've been looking at these other models. They pretty well in hand. So anybody from Wilmington, North Carolina, all the way to the Outer Banks, somewhere in this vicinity here, that's where the storm of this center of the storm looks to take the track and move inland somewhere in that vicinity. All right, that's your tropical update. We got another one at the end of this broadcast, so stick around and don't forget to check that out as well. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Watches, Warning, and Advisory map. Alright, as you can see here, we got some hurricane statements up here in portions of New Jersey, Delaware, and over toward the Virginia region. Also, we got tropical storm warning, flash flood watches in effect along coastal areas from Virginia through eastern North Carolina. Tropical storm warning is also in the coastal and the Atlantic waters as well. Gale warnings also from portions of Philadelphia all the way up into portions of New York City. Some gale warnings also down here from South Carolina all the way down to the east coast of Florida. We have some rip current statements there as well. Alright, we have some special marine warnings for the east coast of Florida, west coast of Florida, panhandle of Florida. Also, we got a flood advisory here in portion of Illinois, severe thunderstorm warning, and a special weather statement, flood warning in effect for northeast Texas, southern portion of Oklahoma, North Texas, special weather statement. Also a few over here in portion of New Mexico as well. We got a tornado watch that is in effect for portions of Kansas and Nebraska, and also some flood advisory for southern portions of South Dakota. High wind watches are in effect for southeastern portion of Wyoming. Red flag warnings for you guys in Colorado. Freeze watches in effect there for portions of Wyoming. Also some winter weather advisory for portions of Montana, Idaho as well. Wind advisories also in effect for portions of Montana also. Alright, freeze watches in effect for portions of Oregon and Northern California. Air quality alerts for Central California. Red flag warnings for the north. Red wind advisory for the south. And one county there under a air quality alert as well. Alright, Alaska got a few special weather statements on coastal areas. Gale warnings around the area as well. Central and north Hawaii Chain Island looks good. Central south got a few. All right, now we're going to take a look at the Storm Prediction Center overview, and then we're going to look at the other products as well. All right, you can see here the general thunderstorm activity for today. There it is. That's that storm getting it's acting together off the southeast coast, but it's extending moisture all the way down to Florida, also down to Cuba. Also moisture home in Texas, marginal risk in the green. Got showers and storm in the tornado watch area there. Also some up toward Illinois and Wisconsin, Minnesota. Scattered about in portion of Montana, back to Wyoming and Oregon. Also back in the port of Utah and also in Nevada as well. Alright, convective outlook, you can see a little better. Slight risk there, slight risk, marginal risk. General thunderstorm watches in effect. Tornado watch, like I said, for Nebraska and Kansas. MDS discussion. Currently right in this vicinity here. Watch unlikely. Same here as well. Alright, storm reports came in this afternoon. We had 0 tornado report. High wind reports, we had 6, and one was high. They pretty much took place in central and northern Florida, also down toward the Tampa area, Miami, Florida region as well. Also, we had hail reports. We had 20 of them, 4 with LAR. That took place over Texas, also into portions of Kansas, and also into Nebraska as well. All right, so that brought the total number to 26. Would not be surprised. Fire weather. Let's take a look at elevated risk over Northern California. All right, now let's take a look at the hurricane forecast here. This is we already took a look at the information on 16. Here is tropical storm, Hurricane Nigel. All right, this is at 9 p.m. GMT time. If you're tracking this system at home, we're located near latitude 43.7 north, longitude 40.8 west. Movements to the east northeast at 32 knots or 37 miles per hour. Maximum sustained winds 70 knots or 80 miles per hour, and the minimum central pressure is 977 millibars. All right, now let's take a look at this system here. This is this is, looks to become Philippe in the over the weekend and the early next week, as I predicted in the other forecast video I did earlier today. Don't forget to go check it out. Alright, shower and thunderstorm shows associated with a broad area of low pressure a couple hundred miles southwest of the Cabo Verde Island are beginning to show signs of organization. Environmental conditions are forecast to be conducive in gradual development of this system, and a tropical depression is likely to form this weekend or early next week, while the system moves generally westward at 10 to 15 miles per hour across the eastern and central tropical Atlantic. Formation chance through 48 hours, 40%, and formation chance through 7 days is 80% as it continues to move west. Alright, all indications we've been looking at, the system continues to move this way, and anybody in the Leeward Islands, Windward Islands, also toward Trinidad, Tobago, maybe as far east as Puerto Rico, further west as Puerto Rico, maybe the Dominican Republic, Haiti. Would not be surprised this system may affect you guys as well later on down the road. So we're going to have to keep an eye on this here system here as it continues to push off to the west. Some of the model takes it kind of here and then curve it out to sea. Some takes it a little further west, moves into the Gulf of Mexico. Some turns it come up like this. So we'll have to just keep an eye on it and see what happens. But right now, if anybody in, like I said, the Dominican Republic, maybe Jamaica, all the way over toward the Haiti area, also Puerto Rico, the Windward Island, like I said, Trinidad, Barbados, and stuff like that, you need to be on the lookout. Alright, well, I'll have more tomorrow afternoon with another update. So hope everybody has a great Thursday evening. Take care. Also enjoy the weather, because it's the only weather you got. Like these videos, share these videos, consider subscribing if you have not. We'll catch you back in the next video. So take care and have a wonderful, wonderful Thursday evening, folks. Take care.